We have some loose ends. Before hard mode begins, I want to make sure I'm absolutely ready to deal with all the baggage that comes with killing the wall of flesh. So some of the things I want to do will be done in this video in rapid fire succession, starting with fishing. Last Tuesday I only had one class to attend to that day at 3:30 in the afternoon, so I decided to take the day to complete some fishing quests for roughly 6 hours. From 7 in the morning I caught a lot of fish, 46 quests collectively to be exact, and I got a lot of crates and bait alongside the rewards that came with completing them. I earned the angler outfit, the accessories for the fishing tackle bag, the golden bug net, and by quest 25 you're automatically rewarded with the golden fishing rod, the best rod in the game. More importantly, I was after the sextant and the fisherman pocket guide, the last 2 accessories I needed for the cell phone. It's a 1 in 30 chance to be a quest reward, and after getting all this from only 46 fishing quests, I was feeling pretty lucky. But after a short break, I can now officially start the next renovation. Let's shake up the jungle pylon. So there's a lot going on that I want to feature in one video, and I'll be post-commentating to make this all go as smoothly as possible. Also, my mic wasn't turned on for parts that I was actually commentating. So let's go down this list of things I want to do to my world to prepare for hard mode. I want to continue adding more quality of life builds to make the weight of early hard mode a bit more bearable. So to start off, I dug a massive hole. There were 2 key locations, the border at the jungle and the borders of the corruption. This will prevent corruption from spreading to the snow or the ocean biome on the surface. Not to mention there is almost a 0% chance corruption or hallow could even get to this section of the map. I'm also hoping that the corruption, if it happens to spread on this side, doesn't pass that border. This took about 2 hours to dig out, and it's a lot faster than I thought with enough money for dynamite. Here is the end result. I might have a dividing tunnel between the underground and cavern, considering that section I dug out didn't take as long as I thought it would. Also, it would be easier to contain some of the corruption that would start appearing when I start breaking demon altars in hard mode, so maybe having a division between the cavern layer and underground could be a good thing. I wish I had my actual audio for this part, since it was pretty important. Once I got to my base, I made myself the angler tackle bag and the fish finder, allowing me to finally make the cell phone the ultimate informational accessory. So now my inventory had a lot more breathing room. Now, collecting stars in a convenient manner isn't that difficult. All I need to do is line a platform across the entire sky, and with a rail track for faster minecart travel. Once I get the mechanical cart, traveling up here will be a breeze. Later I'll build a better way up to it, but for now, it starts at that sky lake. Afterwards, I built 2 new houses for temporarily completing our pylon network. I now have easy access to the desert and snow biome, which leads us to the present, where I finally figured out my mic was muted. Alright, welcome back. I got my mic fixed, and you probably don't recognize where the hell we are, but we are actually, according to our map, right next to our base. I decided to terraform this area a little and flatten it out, and I used Scarab Bomb to dig a tunnel underneath this little chunk of dirt. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna blow all this up, right after I buy some more explosives. So I've been saying I was gonna make something like this soon, but I wanted to make myself an invasion farm, and I've been thinking about how I wanted it to be designed. And it's gonna look something similar to the one I built back in Terraria Remastered, and actually no, that's rather inaccurate. It's gonna look more like the one we built in the 2019 Let's Play, which was an improved version of the one I made in Remastered, and this one will be like the Mark III, you know what I mean? So this platform here kind of marks the general center of where I want my shelter, where I'm gonna hide up, is gonna be. And I have it so I think the outer part of the farm is like slightly on screen, so I can have mobs just kind of walk in from off screen, and then they all fall into the lava here. And it also helps that I filled out a lot of the holes that were beneath the spawn point. I did this all off camera. You never saw this happen because I think I was collecting dirt along with the stone I needed for the building materials, and I started just filling in holes while I was doing it. So this should maximize how many mobs appear up here on the surface. And as you can see, there's quite a few zombies. So I like to think it's kind of working. So I'm probably gonna line the bottom edge with ebon stone brick. I honestly like how this block looks. I might even paint it if I want to. So when I was building that sky rail, I did have to tear down a few sky islands that were a bit in the line of sight of my rail track, so I was able to salvage some sunplate blocks from the treasure rooms that were on those islands. I think it'd be a good opportunity to use it for this build right here, because I'm gonna be building the kind of shelter I'm gonna be hiding in, and just hitting enemies by sneaking out like a yo-yo or some other weapon that's easy to cheese enemies with. But if I recall correctly, I think on the wiki, I think there's some new enemies that are meant to prevent you from cheesing. I think, for example, the pirate invasion now has like a cursed spirit that comes after you that just flies through walls, so I won't be able to farm them as easily. So this looks good. I have a bunch of chests to store some random stuff that I get. I've got all my personal storage like piggy banks, safes. I have all the passive buffs like bass statues, campfires, heart lanterns, and stars in a bottle also in the general area. And of course some good decorations inside the rooms. Now all we're missing is lava and traps, but that'll come for later. Alright, so we just need a relatively thin slice of lava. It shouldn't be too tall to dissolve any items that fall into it. Not that there'll be many items that will be dissolved by a thin slice of lava. So let's just start dumping it and see what happens. I wonder how much lava I'm gonna need to cover this entire area. Alright, this looks good to me. I can also walk on it with the Terra Spark boots, which is pretty nice, and still collect all the items sticking out. The only problem is that it looks like it's been edited into the world with this chunk right here. I don't know, maybe I can like make it a little staircase. I might remove this and just have like my spawn point be like right here or something. But that'll be for another time. Let's move on to something else. Is this guy selling anything important? It doesn't look like it. I mean, he's selling a celestial magnet. We'll buy one just to keep one. One thing I do want to do is have the Dryad temporarily live here. I wonder if she's like even happy about this place. No, I think most NPCs are neutral to this biome. When she's in this biome, she sells me mushroom grass seeds. I want a bunch of these. Obviously overkill, but why not? Alright, so remember all that digging we did at the beginning of the episode? What if we did more of it? One of the things that would probably do me some good is if I made my own artificial mushroom biome, and maybe a jungle biome while I'm at it. Alright, so as you can see from this map, I've hollowed out a little square here, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be digging out a artificial underground mushroom biome. The reason I want to get something like this grown immediately is because I'll have access to getting truffle worms whenever the heck I want. And besides, we're going to probably build this at some point in hard mode anyway, so I might as well do it without the corruption and hallow bugging me by just spreading around really quickly, because it's going to be a while before we'll be able to fight Plantera. So for this mushroom biome, I chose the beach pylon as the location for this thing, because this area in this world is almost guaranteed to never be corrupted or hallowed, so I can pretty much control whatever biome this is. Luckily, I've been hollowing out so much space that I got plenty of stone, mud, and dirt to make this build however I want it to be. It'll kind of look like a little garden, so what I also want to do is kind of mark out some spacing here. So let's just assume that's going to be the slabs, which I don't need to assume because I can just place it like this. We also want a platform that's like maybe 4 wide. And let's make that 1 shorter. So the design is gonna look like this. It's gonna be mudstone brick across and then 1 up like this, kind of like it's holding the mud in a giant bowl. And then across here will be the mud blocks, which I will then grow the mushroom grass on top of. So now I just have to grow some mushroom grass seeds on it, and eventually I'll have 1 giant row for mushroom mobs to spawn on, including truffle worms. Now I just have to repeat this process for maybe 5 or 6 rows. Alright, that closes the border with the stone slabs, and I just need to put the mushroom seeds on this last row here, and we got a full mushroom garden now. So I can just run back and forth along this runway here, and hopefully a truffle worm would eventually spawn if we were in hard mode. I'm just gonna use the rest of the stone slabs I have to make kind of a thick layer of stone slabs around my little mushroom garden. Even though no world evil can actually take this space over, I just think it looks nice. And who knows, we might have to extend this later at some point, but I think for now it looks fine. So I decided to copy the layout of the mushroom biome to make my own artificial jungle biome as well. If I built this right, I should have a supply of life fruits I can easily access later. Hopefully the two artificial biomes aren't going to disrupt each other due to how close they are. So I thought it was a bit overkill to have so many rows of jungle biomes, so I decided just to turn this area into basically a miniature Plantera arena, because I'm pretty confident that after all the time I've played Terraria, I can definitely take on Plantera in an arena this small. And besides, last time I made my arena too big, I got absolutely curb stomped because the biome wasn't actually a jungle in the center, causing Plantera to be enraged and me just dying in a really unfortunate way. So I need to figure out what I want to do in the meantime while I wait for all that stuff to grow. And I think I know exactly what I want to do. So I want to buy some wire. And I think back at home, I already have a, what's it called? A pressure plate on a minecart track. It's in my blocks chest, I believe. No, those are all the booster tracks I bought. Where is it? There it is. I need this. Speaking of rail tracks, I will need a few of these, and I also have some slime blocks for decoration. Now, what am I doing? You're probably wondering. This is going to be a completely temporary build. I have this platform out here that I'm planning to build something on eventually, but I'm not going to do it just yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a little box like this. And I guess it could be any shape, I don't really care. And I'm gonna go into my statue chest and pull out my slime statue. This is probably giving away exactly what I am doing. So I'm gonna toss the slime statue in here, and I'm gonna dump a bucket of lava in there. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a little rail track right here, and I'm going to hammer both sides, and I'm gonna use the grand design to hook it up to my slime statue. So, if I get on the minecart, I start riding this really rapidly. I might also want to put it closer so I can pick up any item that pops out of it. Now this is a much safer distance, so now all I gotta do is sit here and wait for a slime staff. Oh shit, there it is. Wow, that was way faster than I thought. We're recording, right? Yeah, we're recording. Yeah, I just wanted to check. That only took a few minutes. So I think that might have been the last thing I need to do this episode as far as I know before I end up doing way too much in one video. The next things I plan to do is probably tweak this building, because I don't need this thing anymore, and I don't really like how this tower came out, so I might try to change it into something else. Something that'll blend in with the terrain over here. And then next episode, we're also going to definitely take on Old One's army, and there might be some other like hard mode preparations I might try to make. But for now, we've done a lot, and I think this is a good place to wrap it up. So thank you everyone so much for watching this episode of Terraria. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.